And good evening to you. Americans across the country are taking second, third, and fourth looks at their budgets, seeing where they can trim as inflation continues to hit wallets hard. Right now, consumer prices have been lingering at record highs since late last year. Gas prices still climbing. Inflation is near the highest level in more than 40 years, and the strain that is putting on people's bank accounts means more people turning to help from our local community. Our Logan Gay explains how our local food banks, they are trying to meet the demand and what experts say is causing the inflation.
Volunteers with Gleaner's Food Bank are working hard to keep food on families' tables. They kicked off their Care Mobile Pantry Summer Program food giveaway Saturday at John Marshall High School for neighbors in Marion County.
Now with the economic price inflation, we've seen those numbers climb back up above 1,500 households again. The hardship is back in a different way for the neighbors we serve.
The difference is inflation. People across the country are calling for the president and Congress to do something to help the average American dealing with this issue. President Joe Biden says he understands working families are struggling and are questioning why this is happening.
Putin's war has raised the price of food because Ukraine and Russia are two of the world's major breadbaskets for wheat and corn.
But Michael Hicks, the director of Ball State's Business and Economic Research, says that's not the whole picture.
With the exception of petroleum, the war isn't really responsible for very much.
But petroleum prices will affect things on a larger scale.
The problem, though, with petroleum is that everything is affected by that. Everything has to move by rail or, diesel engines. And so there are really going to be sort of lingering effects of that.
He says lingering supply chains interruptions because of COVID, war in Ukraine and its effect on petroleum prices and some food items, and overstimulating the economy with the Pandemic Recovery Act in early 2021 are also behind it. While what is happening is definitely a crisis, he says so far it's not the worst we've seen.
As bad as you think it is today, it's still by historical standards. A short burst of inflation like this is not especially damaging to the economy in the long run.
Hicks says we could possibly see at least another year of high prices.
We're past the peak period of inflation, so I don't expect the prices to rise as fast as they have in previous months, but we're not going to drop very quickly either.